JORD Invitational. Of course, it's just the European group. We've still got a whole another group for you guys. Whole bunch of best of 3 still coming out today. The schedule is going to be this winner's match, the finals of this group, and then I guess we'll try and start the other group, but we are wickedly far ahead of schedule, so that may not happen.
So, like, how far we are ahead of schedule.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing, but at this one instance it might actually be. We'll talk about that more in a moment. For now, though, in the bottom right corner of the map, from Team Liquid, it's going to be the red Zerg player, Snute.
In the top left, as the blue Zerg player, it's Bly.
Yeah, so for context here, for those who don't know, I'd say it's about a safe margin. If you're doing a best of 3 between 2 well-matched players, 45 minutes to an hour seems to be about average. Euthermal's cheeses really set us ahead of schedule, and for context, it's now 10:35 a.m. We're like 2 best of 3s ahead of where we should be. Same thing.
Yeah, we should be starting the losers match right now, not the winners. So.
Yeah, but that's still fine because of course the finals of today is going to be a guaranteed PvZ of the European group. We'll move versus either Bly or Snute.
Yeah. I was gonna talk about this, right? Like,
yeah.
Legacy of the Void, please.
I guess to explain it for those who don't know the context, Bly's been playing a lot of beta tournaments recently. He's also got new internet, I guess, as well. Because his internet has actually been pretty crap. Just generally speaking, he'll drop once a day, not lag consistently, but it'd be kind of cool if he announcement here of a stream potentially coming out of him.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah, so anyways, well, that's better than mine. Bly, I now hate you. I have 5 upload. But yeah, so Bly's been playing a lot of Legacy of the Void, which has had terrible latency, regardless how good your internet is, server-side wise. A lot of the HOTS events he's played in, I don't think we've really seen him lose to lag, but I'm sure it's come up once or twice, and it'll be really nice just to have that factor removed from the equation, you know?
Well, for Bly, he's fallen out of tournaments because of lag.
Yeah.
So...
literally disconnected and been unable to come back.
Yeah, it really, really did suck. It's gonna be nice not to have any server lag, your internet lag, whatever lag. For ZvZ, I thought one of these guys was going to go ahead and open up really strong with an early pool because it's the winners match, and then they're both definitely capable of it.
Well,
Bly is being more well known for the cheese.
Right, like I'm more inclined to see Bly do a 10-pool Baneling buster, all in, pardon me, rather than Snute, but at the same time, Snute's skilled enough to pull it off if he wanted to go for it, right?
Yeah, he's a powerful player who knows that he can add in cheese, you know? He's like, he's on like the, I don't know, tier of Jadong, I suppose, who will, you know, game 5, 10-pull Baneling with Spinecrawler or whatever, but he will know that he should do that, add in every once in a while. But it's looking to play pretty standard. Maybe a defensive Baneling nest. It isn't the main, which you can kind of look at these like main versus natural Baneling nests as well. Is it because they're kind of trying to hide it? Do they want it defensive? Like what's going on? But usually that doesn't really work out.
We have bad news. I'm sorry.
What?
I only bring this up because Bly's here, right? They released some new Legacy of the Void information, and of course, Burrow is now being an upgrade, or sorry, not Burrow, but the Tunneling Claws is gonna be an upgrade again.
Oh, so I'm not surprised.
Folks like Bly, who have been dominating the Legacy of the Void beta tournaments, gonna have to.
It's called a Liberator? The fuck?
Yeah, didn't you solve that really cool tweet yesterday where they left out the letters?
It better have an American flag, man.
I think the Liberator sounds really cool. I can't wait to see what it looks like. But anyways, I bring this up because it's Bly, and he's pretty good with bird roaches. But anyways, neither here nor there. We actually have this game underway. We get the attack come down. Lingzi on top of this queen. First one should go down. No transfuses available. A couple drones get pulled in the mix because Snute really did get caught off guard by this.
Yeah, very awkward. Now there aren't any more lings on the way, but of course he's panicking, not necessarily looking like paying attention to the minimap right now. And is in fact, his overlords are getting just pushed away by the queens, just like straight up. Get out of here. So it is good that he tried to wall off, but no more lings were coming. Bly was on his way to a lair. I guess he's gonna go for a spire, as Bly does a lot.
Yeah, Bly, I really like his spire play when it comes to ZvZ. For those who don't know, he's not one to typically dedicate to them. more so what we'll see, and especially off of what he's seen out of Snoot's base, is you'll get about 8 to 10. Really just control the map. It's enough to deal damage to roaches as well, and he'll quickly transition to his roaches after it, and uses that map control to get ahead. It's really cool watching him make this work, and of course it eventually leads into some Broodlord transitions later on if he's able to get that far.
Yeah.
But Snute, man, he's got some of the best ZvZ
No!
foreigner-wise. It's...
No!
What?
Missile turret build requirement change back to engineering bay.
Why?
Oh!
They're like,
Sorry.
we give you the Liberator, but we ruin everything else.
I was trying so hard not to bring up anything else, because like Swarm hosts don't burrow move anymore, and I totally forgot that they did in the first place, but that one just... No!
I didn't know that they did. I forgot about that. Awkward.
Right? Exactly. Super engineering bay turret, why?
The engineering bay turret, man, that was my favorite thing.
I'm so sad right now.
Here's what's worse about this, right? Now you need armories because the upgrades are split. Okay, that's one thing. But now you gotta put the engineering base on top of it? Like, please, Blizzard. Can you just ruin the beta more? God.
The camera was on. I'm just so dejected right now.
I actually wish they'd fix the menu map. Sorry, we're getting a little bit off topic. We do have the coast this game starting to get a bit more aggressive. Bly with some banelings down the front lines. Roaches should be able to pick these off pretty nicely. But Snute, I don't know if he just knows Bly or if he's just doing this because it's what he wanted to do in the first place. But a couple of infestors really won't be too bad at potentially catching those mutas.
Now, I guess like the one question that we have, right, is whether Bly is going to go for the fast Broodlords. But then the other question is, does Snute know that he's capable of doing that? Because if...
I feel like Bly is kind of a one-trick pony when it goes down this tech path. If Snoot's ever played him on ladder, he would know exactly what's up.
Yeah, probably. Because it's really important though that you do know that, because one of the best things about Bly doing that versus people that don't know or don't play versus it often is that you know, your initial reaction if someone facing or playing mutas is to really like, you know, ground yourself on 3 bases and just stay on 3 bases until you have like the perfect army, so Roach, Hydra, and Infester. And if you do that, you give them a lot of time to get their Broodlords. Like too much time to get to Broodlords because you're so scared. I mean, rightfully scared. There's going to be a ton of mutas, already going up to, okay, 13, but getting the upgrade as well. Getting some infestors?
Well, the infestors, worth noting, were made without pasture glands, so that's why there's no fungus getting thrown out here.
Yeah, that's got to be an oversight from Snute.
I actually don't think so. I think if you're only going to go like 3 or 4 this early, the gas investment is worth putting into Carapace upgrades, into Hive Tech, into like literally anything else.
I guess so, but I mean, the counter argument would be that you know you're going to survive, or you're pretty sure you're going to survive for the next like 6 minutes, regardless, and that's an upgrade that keeps on giving. You know, like you're going to want infestors later on. Right,
but it only gives once is the problem. So unless you're planning to have a lot of situations where you need that fungal upon the immediate like boom, you pop, you're dead. Like I can really understand why you wouldn't want to go for it. Either way, these two do have a couple of fungals. I mean, there's enough queens here. There's a spore crawler that can be rooted around. Bly's being very particular about the way he's doing this. Fungal is a little bit awkward there. He'll get this one, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough to kill the mutas outright.
This is bad. This is well, okay, the spore crawler gets involved a little bit. The lings do not kill the queens until the last second. That wasn't as bad as it initially looked.
So many of these are in the red.
Yeah. It was a lot of queens for a couple of mutas, and 10 more mutas are on the way. Wow, that's how he's going to defend. He's getting a Roach Warren, so he's not going to skyrocket towards the Broodlords. He's going to switch over and actually, you know, attack Snute with his, the same units, but he's taking his time getting there. He's stay on mutas for a little bit longer.
Both players on 3 bases. Bly focusing a little bit more on gas, Snute focusing a little bit more on minerals. We do have Pathfinder Glands on the way now, because I think in Snoot's mind, he's like, I got 9 queens, I got 4 infestors, that's all I'll need to deal with the mutas, and then I won't need anything else. But realizing perhaps too late that he needs that investment, that the mutas are becoming that much out of hand, I mean, like, it's good that he's getting them, it sucks that it's coming so late. In the main gonna go down. Lots of folks elsewhere on the map. Lings did not chase into the main. A couple roaches gonna get followed.
It really, like, playing against mutas is so frustrating no matter what race you are. And for me, I hate playing ZvZ just in general, but versus mutas is extra uncomfortable. But once you lose those queens and you haven't gotten to hydras, I mean, you just lose such control over, like, not just the game, but like your own bases. Like, sure, spore crawlers will cover 1 or 2 spots. Well, unless you invest in like 5 spore crawlers, these mutas can always find something to pick off.
Yeah, I feel like anytime I play against Mutas myself as well, it's kind of one of those things where you either you handle it really well early on, or you just don't. It's just straight up, you just don't.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it.
So
the layer's gonna go down.
It is, but the infestors are probably any second. Maybe it's that money fungal off. These Mutas are hella clumps. It's like Eddie Murphy and Nutty Professor, the clumps.
Oh god. Oh no, no.
I don't know why I've never thought about that before, but it's just like that's all I can see now. A bunch of fat black Mutas.
Movie. Why?
Fart joke. Fart joke. Alright. You know, the worst part about that layer going down wasn't even just the layer, but that really does screw with Snute's economy. He's trailing in supply right now. It's really hard to get up to this we'll say, quote-unquote, good army supply because he just doesn't have the money to support it.
Yeah.
I mean, all these infestors tunnel visioning on the Mutas, that's cool and all, but look at Bly's follow-up of the actual roaches. Snute has like 5 roaches to his name. That's not going to hold.
No. No, it's not.
Not a lot of situations. I think Bly takes games off Snute like this, but I think he's on the verge of doing it.
Yeah, there was a lot of infested Terrans, and Bly always has the option to just run away from infested Terrans, which is always going to be the better one. There were 16 Mutas with a +1 upgrade. Now they're down to 12, just dealing with 2 Spore Crawlers, but he really wanted to be able to, you know, attack the drones while attacking the front. Unfortunately, the Queen's going to deter him from that, and he should probably move the other Spore Crawler.
Picking up what he can.
God. Like, 8 Mutas is already annoying enough to deal with, but when it was like 16, like, yeesh. Well, I mean, only at 12, they're still doing so much. They're just finding all the spots when they're open. I mean, he wasn't using the spawning pool. Well, he was using Queens, right? So that is really useful.
Yeah, I forgot that you need the spawning pool to make Queens awkward. I mean, Queens do really good damage. There's a lot of Zerg players I've seen firsthand, especially against Bly. Namtor comes to mind. We had that best of 9 with him a little while ago. I mean, Queens work versus Mutas. They do. It's just not here today. Snute is surprisingly going to win the Roach War behind this, though.
Yeah, Bly, I think, was a little too aggressive.
I think he thought he was way further ahead than he really is.
Yeah, well, the last time he attacked, there were barely any roaches, so that's probably true, but he really made a mistake there. The roaches were also much better upgraded than his own, a 2-1 versus just the 1. And of course, with the infestors there, you know, unless you're able to really surprise them, then they're going to add those really, really great fungals. Bly tries to get up to Hive now, but he took such a big blow, and he's lost a lot of those Mutas. Like, it's now down to 7, which is still annoying, but not like, oh god, he's gonna counterattack and win. So Snute might just open up an option to return some damage, maybe? Oh, please. The Queen's going down a little bit, 1 or 2. There are starting to add in a lot of transfuses that could be very helpful, at least in the defense. And Snute, well, I thought he had some opportunity to maybe attack, but he just holds back up in the 3 bases and waits it out, which in turn is giving Bly a lot of time to get that Greater Spire.
And this is where I get really worried for Snute. He's done a great job bringing it back. It's looking really good for him, quite honestly. But the problem is, he didn't really go Hydras behind this. We've seen Roach Hydra actually take on Broodlords. He doesn't have a Spire down, so there's not going to be his own Corruptors coming out anytime soon. And Infestors, quite frankly, are just not going to cut it.
Well, he is even... you know, Hydras don't really cut it either, but at least they have one chance, maybe, like in a bad engagement, where they could go underneath the Broodlords, like kind of like Marines, but he doesn't even have Hydras. I mean, what's up with that? The Queens have been doing a good enough job. I feel like if he had Hydras, he'd just be... Well, if he had Hydras, maybe he wouldn't have enough roaches to hold on. I don't know, but like Snute just he's holding on, sure, but he's losing out in the tech war right now. And in fact, I never noticed that he had never rebuilt a lair, so that's finally coming up.
Well, yeah, we talked about the problem with the Spire before. This is definitely one of the determining factors. The Hydras as well require the Hive techs, and now it's all making a lot of sense.
Yeah. Bly down in supply only because he's banking so much in preparation for those Broodlords. Getting Tumbling Claws, so he's going to have He's gonna have a fairly good, defensive line with enough broodlords and maybe even some spine crawlers down, but he's also gonna have that aggression, continual aggression. Is I don't think Snoot's gonna be expecting like 21-minute tunneling claws. He has a sport crawler just for the mutas that's gonna provide detection, but he's not, other than that, it's not even expecting it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for this. But either way, I mean, like this, I just feel for Blythe. This is either going to work out really fantastically, right, or it's going to fail miserably. I don't think there's a lot of middle ground when you go broodlords like this.
They don't have much spine crawler coverage, but there are spine crawlers for Blythe. 4 in the natural, 4 in the third base.
A couple of fungals, just hold the roaches in place. I feel like this is classic Blythe though. Anytime he ever goes for broodlords, whether he's ahead or behind, he always gets hit just as they're morphing in. Unfortunately, there are the ones that are up are on the other side of the map, and okay, maybe it becomes an awkward as hell base trade, but I mean. Bly is not exactly holding on smoothly here back at home.
He's holding on better than I thought he would, but the Infestarian's doing out on the left side, but not the right side. So he's going to lose at least 1 base, but he does have a 4th. It's been somewhat.
Gotta get those Infestarians on the broodlords.
Oh, they're gonna run out of time.
Yeah, out of juice.
It's only 2 broodlords though, right? So like the hatcher's gonna go down. Yeah, no problem. And they run away.
Snute also lost his own third while this is going on. Tries to take a 4th, but the mutas are on top of this. No easy transferring around. Spire's almost done. If you can get out like 3 to 5 corruptors, he should be good. At least for defense. Of course, fighting Bly's own corruptors is a whole nother can of worms. But Snute, you didn't finish it. You didn't finish it.
Oh God! You just set up 1 roach back there, just the really weak one.
Oh bother.
Oh then. Well, Snute really doesn't have anything to deal with the broodlords. He's infestors and queens.
And he doesn't have a lot of money either. That's the worst part. He's actually going for mutas, interestingly enough.
Well, I guess in a very technical sense, they could run around the corruptors and broodlords and maybe catch the broodlords off guard.
I'm not sure I'm sold on that. Looks like the one of the broodlords just died as spore crawler. No. Oh, I did.
No,
it did. Yeah. What? Quay? The only reason I'm questioning this is because Bly does have upgrades. When it comes to Muta Wars, they're already fickle and precise as is. It's really hard to play from behind and go for mutas.
Station pit. Everything in the main could start dying as he did lose the lair again. There's no overload cube spread.
Ooh, bad engagement out of Snute. That fungal growth going to hold him in place while he gets massacred. He did have a huge army supply lead. His army supply is still not looking bad, but goes from being massively far ahead to be like, okay, well, now I've got a handful of roaches.
Yeah, but the air war is getting a lot more interesting now that the mutas are out. There's only 3 corruptors and 2 queens for Bly, so Snoot's winning the air war now. Yeah,
10 mutas can get work done.
So Snoot's still gonna win this? For real?
I don't know. If it is, this is gonna be great. The corruptors just take forever to die. Actually, I don't think he killed any corruptors.
I don't think he did either. Well, the transfuses went down.
Yeah, I know. There's just like those beastly armored units in the first place. Coupled with the fact we did. Oh, I didn't realize he finally got burrowed. I was gonna talk about this earlier. Snute had a lot of infestors floating around. I was a little bit worried for him because they're right there out in the open and there's no burrow. How do they escape if they get caught?
There's no lair for Snute. Do want to emphasize that he lost the second one that he made in the main base.
Oh,
so this one overseer, I think, is his last detection.
That's a little bit awkward. Well, I guess you get fungal growth. But,
that's true.
Easier the other way around. I kind of hope he starts dropping creep in the main, or he's going to lose his spawning pool needlessly.
He doesn't have a lair.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting all these Zerg restrictions. Oh, the fungal growth is for good, though. Oh, Bly is going to catch these mutas.
Oh, God.
This might be it for Snutes.
I think it might be.
This has been so much more back and forth than I thought this ZvZ would be, if I'm going to be completely honest right now. What the hell is going on, Grove?
Well, Snute is mining off of 2 bases. He has a 3rd ready. There's just not enough drones sent over there, I guess. Finally getting that lair again.
It's the 3rd layer he's had to build. Normally, if you're 3 layers deep, you've lost the game already. You're not even contending anymore. But yeah, Snoot's still fighting it out. I mean, it's a new mining base, which is nice. You lose your main at this point. That kind of sucks, but you're mined out of it, so it's not so bad.
More drones as well.
Oh, you lagged out hardcore. I have no idea what you just said.
Oh. I was like, in the income for Snoot's a lot better because he has like 10 more drones now, but also better mine.
Yeah, I agree. Burly Infestors, get away with the Burlords. Snipe off that one overseer. Boom, headshot. Yeah, a lot of them getting really low. It is a scrappy fight though. I mean, neither of these two are close to remaxing. I mean, Snute, the last thing he wants to do is spend 1,000 minerals, 1,000 gas on maxing on roaches. If he does, then he's got no real units to fight with. I really like that despite the fact that he's making corruptors and all these things now, he's floating a little bit of a bank, not much, but like a little bit behind it, instead of just trying to max out as quick as possible.
Yeah. I do hope that Bly also considers the long-term game. It looks like he is, because he's getting a Hydralisk in. He's actually going to try and, I guess, like, force Snute to overmake corruptors, which is probably working, to be honest. But he doesn't have a 4th base. He doesn't have a lot of drones. And he is still going for Broodlords. Okay, never mind then. I don't know.
I swear, Zombie Grub, this is... I don't even know what to think about this anymore. There's so many times we see ZvZ and like, the rules don't call Roach Wars, and this can go this way or that way, but like, this has been so scrappy back and forth, and I can't recall the last time it was Mutalisk, Corruptor, Roach, Infestor Queen versus Roach Infestor Broodlord. You know, it's at this point, I think we rarely still, but more commonly see Broodlord versus Broodlord come out with mass Corruptor lines and Spore Crawler lines. Not this sort of I think it's more mobile, scrappy force that Snoot's been bringing to the party.
Yeah. Well, the Roach Burrow is going to be nice for Bly, as long as he has breathing room back at home, and with all the spine crawlers he made, I guess he thinks he does. So he's going to be able to cancel a 4th base, but he still doesn't have a 4th base, or really a 3rd base of his own, right? Because Snoot's not mining from his main base, he's mining off of brand new bases, for the most part. It's looking worse for Bly in the long term, but he is the one with the Broodlords, but it's against 17 Corruptors, so I really... like, you'd have to only take fights defensively over Spore Crawlers to win. Oh,
that fungal growth on the Corruptors is actually really nice. Planting some infested Terrans underneath this too. One more should lock him down.
Really good. Because Spore Crawlers are the only thing you can, attack over.
Well, I mean, Snoop's still got like another 10 behind this, but it's good. It is good. I think the worst part though is like Corruptor versus Corruptor is probably the worst fight in the game. They don't really deal that much damage to one another. It takes so long to kill each other. And I do wonder, like, I'm nothing close to Zerg Pro player, so I don't know. That's why I'm asking, like, just blanketly, if it'd be better to ignore Corruptor fights, Corruptors in Corruptor fights, and just go straight for the Broodlords instead. Go for the throat type thing.
Oh, it's like the Viking conundrum versus Colossus Phoenix.
Oh, God.
Like, which one do I do? I don't know.
I don't want to do either.
I hate
Can you guys just go like storms and charge lots, please? Yeah, that was the only time I was ever good at TVP. I seriously have like a 0% run record. Nowadays like I just can't do TVP. But when it was storm and charge lot and other people were complaining, I'm like, what are you guys complaining about? This isn't so bad. Get a couple of ghosts out, no problem.
That was like the hardest thing to do for Protosses that weren't like, really good though. So I can definitely see that. I loved High Templar Charge, but it was difficult.
I hate all these Colossus all-ins nowadays. Like, it's whether we're watching them or whether I'm playing it myself, it's just not my favorite way to go.
I don't think anyone can deny that Colossus are more boring.
Yeah. Maybe that's why they're trying to nerf them, man. They're just like, alright, we're not gonna remove the unit from the game, but we're gonna make you not want to ever build it again.
Yeah, we're not gonna like change it to make it more interesting. We just don't want you to ever build it.
It's like the Sentries. Like, they could never remove force fields from the game, because that would be A, admitting they were wrong, but B, it's like, it's such a dynamic change. What if you make all their units so much better than Sentries?
I like that philosophy.
That's what you got like the tinfoil hat on for.
Snute has like maxed out when we're talking. I mean, this is... It's looking more and more like his game. Even though Bly did manage to get up his 4th base, and that's good. Snute's starting to match his own upgrades. Getting the Tumbling Claws and the +1. Because they're gonna trade was like a 1 base for, well, not a base. He just broke in the rocks, tried to.
Shout out to Soli2, by the way, for resubbing to the channel. Thank you for coming back. One thing Snute's been doing, this might not be the biggest of details, but he's been opening a lot of attack paths on Bly's side of the map, right? So there are now a lot of opportunities for him to kind of get through all these different, I guess, walkthroughs, whereas Bly, I guess he can open them too, but he's really relying on like these tunneling claws, he's relying on the sneak attacks, he's not looking for a big fight.
He will once he's maxed out, and then he'll feel pretty confident with the Broodlords, but that's a long ways off.
Well, speaking on that point, what do you feel about, how do you think about Snute not going for Broodlords? He doesn't have a Greater Spire. He's not intended to go for his own Broodlords.
I don't see enough games where they're not Broodlord versus Broodlord to even have like an idea of what will happen.
Exactly. It's just it's the ultimate. It's like back in the day. If you saw Swarmhost, you had to match it with Swarmhost. If you see Broodlords, you almost have to match them with Broodlords. And if Snute had some other I guess tool like a Hydralisk army behind this or something, you're like, okay, that kind of makes sense, because we've actually seen our fair share of Roach Hydra push into Broodlord and win. But again, it is just such a strange composition, and finally the Greater Spire does start here for Snute.
Oh. And again, Snute should win this game just based off economy and like bank alone. That, you know, if the fight does go down, then he'll be able to remax faster. But it just all it takes is like one great position for the Broodlord to be over, you know, some little high ground, and your infestors get the fungals on the corruptors. I mean, it's such a limited amount of experience for any player, really. I mean, maybe not Bly, because Bly always goes for like really fast Broodlords. But for most players, to actually get to a game that is Broodlord versus Broodlord, or just like 40 minutes to begin with in a ZvZ, it's rare, right? And you can't tell someone to like go 40 minutes like ZvZ. That's
it's almost like a skill cap. It's like a skill check. You know, if you're able to get past this point in this matchup, you're probably pretty good at the game.
Yeah, it's just like both these players are probably in kind of new territory, and they're just making the best out of everything. So finally, Snute gets revenge for all the attacks in his own base over there. Yeah,
I mean, Bly's been doing sneak attack, these sort of tradings. The problem is he's never really had the drone count that he needs. He's never had the base count like Snute's. And like Snute can still, like, when the fight comes down, uproot all these spore crawlers, bring all those corruptors to the front lines, and at the end of the day, he's gonna have more units on the field than his opponent. And with similar compositions, just basic numbers should go in his favor. These infestors, though, almost get caught with a fungal. Counter fungals do go out. Lots of infested Terrans gonna come down. There come the corruptors on the backside. But Broodlings versus no Broodlings. Bly should win the ground fight. The question is, can Snute dominate the air battle? Because if he removes the Corruptors, if he removes the Broodlords, his Roaches will win the game ultimately. But he fights on top of the infested Terrans. He loses a large portion of his Corruptors. That huge supply lead he has starts disappearing. But he's got a bank behind this. He can make more units. And right now, he's kind of, I feel like, biding his time, trying to figure out which units are the best units to make, instead of just quickly remaxing, hold that Roach key down and make 50 Roaches.
Yeah. Bly can never comfortably like push after like, you know, winning an engagement like that, because Snute can just go around him, so he has to meet him in the middle of the map again. Yeah. The Corruptors are targeting down each other, and they are on now uneven upgrades. The Roaches should probably just leave.
I don't know. You know, the Broodlings.
The Corruptor Ward does go in favor of Bly.
Yeah, a couple infested Terrans on the ground helping out a little bit. Not crazy damage, but enough sometimes.
Nice fungal.
But it's still it's that brute force effect, right? Like, Bly's lost more drones because of these attacks on the side. He's got no income to remax on any army supply with. And if Snute trades out, well, he could give away 3 Corruptors to kill 1 of Bly's, and that's still going to be more effective for him, just because he can build more behind it. Shout out to Zorfiend, by the way, for the 8-month resub. Welcome back. Yeah, this has been a game that's been all kinds of weird, all kinds of wonderful. You don't see ZvZs tend to play out like this. And Snute, who I honestly thought, like, once Bly had those Broodlords, he was attacking Snute's third, I thought it was all over. I thought Bly had wrapped up this game. But Snute turns it around, and he's just done it wonderfully so. That's going to be game. GG.
Very good.
See, I'll take, by the way, one long game like that over, like, 3 quick best of, like, any day of the week. So, ZvZ, sometimes boring, sometimes incredibly exciting. We locked out and got the latter. We're going to go to a small break, though, because that was so long, guys. So 2 minutes, nothing longer, just 2 minutes while we get the lobby up. You're not missing a thing. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys soon for map number 2.